Not what we want to hear, as people are still trying to clean up from flood damage, but it's an alert day for more storms and possible flash flooding.
Almost half of AAA members say Wisconsin roads need some work, and they're willing to pay more for gas if it means more money for repairs.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 This Morning. 6 o'clock now on this Tuesday, September 4th. It's the first day of school for most school districts in our area, but we do have closures and delays running at the bottom of your screen. The latest to be added to that list is Prairie du Chien, not starting school today.
Oh, no.
It's just a strange thing to have school watch on the first day of school.
Yeah, in September.
On the first day of school. It definitely does not feel like September outside. It's very muggy. Our wet weather pattern is expected to continue for at least another couple of days. We are dealing with ongoing flooding concerns across southern Wisconsin. Today and tomorrow are alert days for the area. We have a couple of more rounds of showers and thunderstorms to move through. Any of those could produce heavy rain, and those flooding concerns will continue through Wednesday into Thursday. Here's a live look, though, from the WISC-TV Sky Cam here in Madison on the west side of town. We're going to see a pretty nice sunrise here in Madison with clearing skies right now. The rain is coming to an end, which is good news. We'll at least have several hours of a break through the morning hours. Rain chances, though, will return this afternoon. So as you head off to the bus stop this morning, you might want to pack that umbrella because scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible through the afternoon. More widespread rain then returning tonight into Wednesday. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic maps this morning. We have ongoing concerns with flooding in the Isthmus. Many roads still closed there, so be aware of that. No major delays on the Beltline right now, which is good news. Up to the north, due to some rain overnight, Highway 33 northbound near Portage is dealing with some flooding at Interstate 39. So be aware of those concerns. And much of southern Wisconsin is experiencing some form of flooding at this time.
Jeez, it just feels like a broken record. Yeah.
And many records broken.
If you take a look at 511 Wisconsin, there are so many closures. Highway 22 closed. That's why Montello doesn't have school today. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been 2 solid weeks of pretty heavy rain, and unfortunately not much happening to change that right now.
All right, we'll grin and bear it. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
6:02 your time right now. Madison teachers, at least, will welcome their students for the first day of school this morning after weeks of preparing their classrooms and their agendas.
So some of the conversations over the summer had to do with keeping your kids safe. And Josh Sprider is live with Superintendent Dr. Jennifer Cheatham this morning at Leopold Elementary, where staff there have had to deal with some gun-related issues last year. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, it's a big topic on the minds of many right now. We've got Dr. Cheatham with us this morning, and we're doing the dance because it's the first day of school, but we're also getting eaten alive with bugs out here. So obviously one of the things right now is school security. It's on the minds of many parents. You guys have been working hard to make sure that, parents and kids are feeling a little bit good about going into the school year.
We want them to feel great going into the school year, and we've done a lot of work to ensure safe and supportive schools this year. Our staff has been retrained, refreshed on all of our safety procedures. That was a big part of our welcome back session with staff last week. We've been also making sure that our buildings are prepared. I think some of you may know that we recently received a fairly large grant, almost $1 million, to make some physical upgrades to our buildings in the upcoming year. So we're feeling really good about the safety and security procedures that will be in place to keep every child safe this year.
You know, I think it's one of those things, you go back to school and there's a lot of, you kind of get those butterflies in there, so there's a lot on the minds. What do you kind of have for the message to all those families that are kind of gearing up for going back today?
Oh, just keep it positive, right? I mean, your children, they feed off of the energy that you give them. So keep it positive, build a strong relationship with your teacher at the beginning of the school year. They want to be your partner. And I think that's the main thing. I mean, students want to be reassured that they're going to be safe when they're at school.
Well, I hope the first day of school goes better than these bugs. Dr. Cheatham, we appreciate you waking up early with us.
Absolutely.
We're going to go get some bug spray right now, but we are going to send it back to you ladies in the studio. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, jump back into the live truck. We'll see you in a little bit. Our Josh Sprider reporting live for us. Thanks, Josh.
6:04 right now. So on top of the bug concerns, flooding concerns this morning, we also have a first alert traffic note to pass along as road construction across the state will resume this morning. That includes work on Verona Road, which will start up again at 6 a.m. So actually actually just started a few minutes ago here. The DOT stopped major projects across the state from noon Friday through the Labor Day weekend to help out with travel and congestion. That means work on the I-39/90 expansion will also continue today. As long as the weather cooperates, 2 lanes of traffic will remain open in both directions during daytime hours and weekends. However, tonight through Friday, there will be nightly single lane closures on the interstate between Edgerton and Madison.
While construction projects start back up and we keep an eye on area roads still closed for flooding, AAA is highlighting the need for widespread repairs on state roads. Today marks 60 years since Wisconsin's first interstate highway opened up over in Waukesha County along I-94. Fast forward to today, and AAA says current funding on transportation isn't enough to maintain the roads. A recent survey of its members shows 49% of them said state road conditions are either fair or poor. That's compared to 13% who thought they were good or excellent. The best ways to fix the problem, according to members, raise the gas tax, spend more budget money, or charge tolls.
A Sauk County couple is in jail this morning as police investigate the death of their teenage son. 49-year-old Kehinde Amosbai was the one to report his son had died on Friday. Now, Reedsburg police responded to the family's home on Alexander Avenue near Westside Elementary School around 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Officers reportedly had to force their way in because the doors were padlocked from the inside. Police did find a 15-year-old boy dead. An 11-year-old boy was extremely thin and weak, but still alive inside. Mosbai's wife was also very thin, according to police. The man said he's a religious minister and his family had been fasting since the middle of July. Now, both parents are in custody this morning on tentative charges of child neglect. The 11-year-old boy is being treated at an area hospital. He'll be placed in protective custody once he's out. The medical examiner is expected to do an autopsy on the 15-year-old's body this morning.
A Madison man is behind bars this morning in connection with an overnight stabbing on State Street. Police say 58-year-old Ephraim Walker was arrested on second-degree recklessly endangering safety charges after stabbing a 62-year-old man. Officers say it happened before 3 this morning after the two were fighting. The victim is expected to be okay. 3 months after a Madison man went missing in Europe, his parents are still looking for him. 25-year-old Jonathan Luskin was on vacation in Slovenia when they lost contact with him back in June. Luskin had told his friends he was going to hike through a national park in that country. His father, Alan, says there continues to be a lack of clues on his whereabouts. Alan is now working with a lawyer to try and access his son's social media accounts in hopes of tracking his son. He's also looking into maps Jonathan might have downloaded. Police in Slovenia, meanwhile, say they're still actively investigating.
The Monona man accused of assaulting and trying to abduct 2 UW-Madison students in separate incidents is scheduled to enter a plea in court today. 31-year-old Coleman Chung faces a number of felonies, including armed robbery, battery, kidnapping, and multiple sexual assault charges. Chung's accused of coming up behind a woman on campus last fall, duct taping her mouth and her wrists, and trying to get her into the trunk of his car by hitting her with a hatchet. Now, police allege that another incident happened just days before that. Chung was not a UW student at the time. Both victims in these cases escaped. We'll be sure to update the plea later on this morning on channel3000.com.
A woman suspected of driving drunk 3 times in 3 days and killing someone in one of those incidents should also be in court for a plea hearing later today. 53-year-old Kelly Johnsrud is facing homicide charges for her role in a Highway 14 crash in Iowa County back in October of 2017. Officers say Johnsrud was driving drunk when she crashed into another vehicle and killed the driver, 38-year-old Kevin Kaltenberg. Deputies say it was easy for Johnsrud to get back on the road even after her arrests, just days before that fatal crash, because her initial charges were still pending. All right, 6:09 your time now. There is a pretty cute helper headed back to school up in Wausau today. I don't know if he can help with your AP Calc assignments, but he can help with a wet, sloppy kiss. We're going to introduce you to Badge after the break.
Speaking of school, we do want to remind families in Reedsburg that only freshmen are reporting to class this morning. School in Montello, Mauston, and Prairie du Chien is canceled entirely due to flooding. We have severe storms, unfortunately, in the forecast. Madison schools open in and around the Capitol and further out this morning. Hattie's in next with an update on News 3 this morning.
This
Good morning from the patio where everything is damp, but I don't need an umbrella right now. And I think we'll get several hours to dry out today before the rain returns to southern Wisconsin. Ongoing flooding concerns, though, for parts of the area. Still a flash flood warning in effect for those counties shaded in red, probably till about 6:15 this morning. Flash flood watches in effect for southwestern Wisconsin starting up again tonight through Wednesday. That bright green shaded area is an areal flood warning for general flooding that's occurring due to heavy rain yesterday and into last night. In fact, take a look at how much rain we have measured over the last 48 hours. Got an email this morning from a viewer in Marquette County between Westfield and Harrisville. Emptied out 5.5 inches from her rain gauge early this morning. Again, flooding concerns continue over the last 2 days. We've added up 3 to 5 inches in many parts of southern Wisconsin. Here in Madison, we've had about 2 inches of rain, but heavier rain amounts all around us. Good news, though, we do get a chance to dry out. Most of the rain has lifted north of our area through the morning, and we'll look for mainly a dry day today. There is a chance for some showers and thunderstorms to develop this afternoon, but our better chances for rain continue then tonight into Wednesday. It's a steady stream of moisture from the south fueling these storms. Severe weather outlook does paint a slight risk for severe weather through parts of west central Wisconsin. It looks like heavy rain and damaging winds would be the main threats. So we have alert days in the forecast today and tomorrow due to those showers and thunderstorms and the flooding concerns that will continue. Now look at rain potential through the day today. Starting this morning, staying mainly dry. There may be some scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up, adding up to less than 1/4 inch in most spots through the day. After midnight, rain then returns to the area and it continues on and off through the day on Wednesday. We're looking at an additional 1 to 3 inches for southern Wisconsin. Higher amounts through parts of northwestern and west central Wisconsin. Here's a look at your temperatures this morning. It's the first day of school and right on cue. It is warm and muggy. We're in the low 70s this morning. Dew points are pretty close to that, so heat index this afternoon will be creeping into the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees. So a little uncomfortable in those schools that don't have AC. Take a look at future track, and we'll have some sunshine this morning, but variably cloudy this afternoon. Again, there is a chance for a few showers and thunderstorms to pop up for the area, but some spots may remain dry through the day. Better chances for rain come then overnight tonight into Wednesday, with heavy rain possible across the area. The rain, though, winds down as we head through Wednesday night. Here's a look at your extended forecast. We're going to be quite humid today and tomorrow. Highs in the low 70s then starting on Thursday. Lower humidity and a chance to dry out for at least a couple of days. We could see some more tropical moisture, though, return to the area for the upcoming weekend. Let's get a look at your first alert traffic this morning with Josh Tim. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, starting off the commute, no major issues on the Beltline yet in either direction. Everything seems to be moving well with no major delays. Several roads here in Dane County still closed, though, due to flooding, including East Johnson Street between Fordham and Baldwin Street. Livingston Street and Mifflin Street, you're closed as well, but because of water on the roadways, just make sure you plan ahead and take a different route. No major delays downtown around the Capitol Square and UW campus, though. Volume not an issue at this point. And other main routes heading into the city, they're moving along at the usual speeds with no crashes or delays. With your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
All right, thanks, Josh. Thanks, Hattie. 6:16 your time now. We have seen historic levels of rain over the last couple of weeks. And just like Hattie mentioned, we are bracing for more.
It really just seems relentless at this point. And here with some of the science behind why this rain seems to be sticking around is meteorologist Chris Reese. And Chris, you were telling us we are almost close to exceeding the entire month's worth of rain, and it's September 4th.
Yes, so usually September averages around 3 inches of rain, and a lot of folks have already seen more than that. So, of course, we're keeping a close eye, but it all depends on what's happening upstairs around 30,000 feet. That upper atmospheric pattern is really what drives the weather down here at the ground. And we've had this dome of high pressure over the eastern United States all summer long. You've got clockwise wind rotation around that taps into that tropical moisture and essentially shoots that northward, and that has been essentially sweltering the state of Wisconsin all summer long. Then you get the jet stream involved, and that leads to added southwest flow, pumping in more moisture, but it also leads to regions of low pressure that develop. And as they intensify, they just wrap in that moisture and pull it all around the same spot. So in this case, it's been Wisconsin, and then those showers and thunderstorms develop and just rain out all of that tropical moisture under one spot. So that's what we've seen. And the thing is, you can track a lot of this tropical moisture. Watch how the moisture over Texas shoots into southern and western Wisconsin as we go through Wednesday. That's the next heavy rain threat. Now, there are signs of drier air coming into the picture by Thursday. The wild card, though, is a tropical system. As that moves its way to the north and east, that is going to influence someone with more tropical moisture and bring a lot of rain once again. And we're going to watch how close that gets to southern Wisconsin, because of course we know we don't need it, but until we can get Canadian air masses to take over and wring out a lot of that humidity, we're going to see a lot of this rainy pattern.
Come on, Canada, you can do it.
I was going to say, hurricane season is nowhere near being done. Does this mean we're in trouble for a while?
You know, it's hard to say. This hurricane season's been a little bit quiet compared to normal, but those are wild cards. They can shake up just about any pattern.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. All right, 6:18 right now. We did want to take a little bit of time to talk this morning about going back to school, along with stress over a new class, new teachers, grades, extracurriculars, you name it. Students and parents can have legitimate concerns about safety at school. SSM health therapist Britt Kuhlman says it is important to remind kids that teachers and principals, they're prepared for an emergency if the unthinkable happens at their school. However, even those drills can trigger some anxiety for certain students.
We have much more on this topic on our Time for Kids page. If you need help talking to your kids about anxiety, stress, or self-esteem going into this semester, go check out channel3000.com/timeforkids. All right, 6:19 your time now. Up in Wausau, there is a furry face strolling the hallways to help some of his classmates de-stress a bit on their first day of school. Badge has been patrolling the halls with one of the school resource officers at Wausau East High School since last October. He's a therapy dog who can help brighten a student's day and also de-escalate disciplinary problems. Police say their puppy patrol program has been so successful there, they've decided to add a new dog for Wausau West. He's a Labradoodle named Theo, and his first day is today.
That is fantastic. I think we need one of those for the newsroom, too.
I was just going to say, I think we need one for Madison with all of this flooding. Come on, let's bring some puppy patrol programs down here.
I'm all for it. You can't, you're not going to say hear a no from me. All right, 6:19 right now. The Red Cross is continuing to monitor flooding and helping people with shelter if they need it, but there's also still a need for blood in our area. We'll tell you about an opportunity to donate later today.
And we've got a pretty decent sunrise here on the west side this morning. Take a peek, because we're not going to see much of the sun for the rest of the day. Patty has an update on your forecast coming up on News 3 this morning.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Hattie McLean. Today and tomorrow are alert days for the area. We're still dealing with the potential for heavy rain across parts of southern Wisconsin. A few inches possible through today into Wednesday when you add up the 48-hour period, especially across the southern part of the state. So that has prompted the alert days that are in the forecast. Ongoing flooding concerns will continue. This morning, though, for the time being, we're actually starting to dry out. The rain is lifting to the north and diminishing as we speak, so dry forecast here for southern Wisconsin. There will be a chance for some showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon. Best chances for rain, though, for our area come overnight tonight. It is the first day of school for many students. If you're up early, it's a very muggy start to the day. It's going to be a hot and sticky one as well, with highs at 83. Again, a chance for some rain this afternoon. Might want to pack that umbrella. Have a wonderful day.
All right, thanks, Hattie. 6:24 your time now. Madison Alders will officially award the contract to build new bathrooms and concessions at Stevens Field ahead of the first season for Madison's new soccer team. The city is looking to hire Madison-based Joe Daniel Construction for the nearly $2 million upgrade. The city's first pro soccer team starts playing this spring. The improvements should be finished by that time as well.
Alders are also expected to move forward with plans to install artificial turf at one of the city's most prominent dog parks. Council is considering spending at least $350,000 on fake grass for Brittingham Dog Park on the corner of John Nolan and Broome. Tonight, the Common Council is set to approve plans so the city can actually start receiving bids for improvements there.
National Blood Donation Day is tomorrow, but UW-Madison is getting a head start this morning. The UW Kickoff Blood Drive starts today and runs through Thursday. UW's Red Cross Club will run the drive with donations going to UW Hospitals, SSM Health, Unity Point Health Meriter, and Stoughton Hospital. There are free giveaways there, too, while supplies last. The drive runs from 11 until 5 today and tomorrow, and from 8:30 until 1:30 on Thursday over on campus at the Gordon Dining Center. There are multiple school districts that can't open in time due to flooding. That includes Mauston, Montello, Prairie du Chien, and Reedsburg, except for high school freshmen there. We're going to have an update on the impact of the rain over the weekend as we prepare for more rain over the next couple of days.
Yeah, and there's a partnership happening in one Madison school to make sure kids have access to quality food outside the cafeteria. The day's top stories are next on News 3 this morning. The Baraboo is finally down a bit, so assessors will be out checking the damage along that river.
Ready or not, it is back to school day. I'm Josh Barter live at Leopold Elementary with the Madison superintendent coming up.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to the final half hour of News 3 This Morning. It is 6:29 now on the first day of school for much of the area, Tuesday, September 4th. It's not often, though, we get to talk about delays and closures on the first day of school, but there are quite a few delays. Those are updated at the bottom of your screen, but among them, Mauston, Reedsburg, Prairie du Chien, Montello, all starting tomorrow instead.
A couple of schools on delay as well, all because of that flooding, and unfortunately, no end in sight to the rain. Hattie is out on her patio this morning with some more chances for storms today. Hey, Hattie.
Good morning. Yeah, we're still in this wet weather pattern and nothing's going to change it anytime too soon. So we continue with those flooding concerns across southern Wisconsin. Today and tomorrow are alert days in the forecast due to rounds of rain, some of them heavy. Another couple of inches of rain is possible, keeping those flooding situations in play here across southern Wisconsin. Here's a look at the radar map. We did have some rain yesterday into the overnight hours. It was very heavy north and west of Madison, but the rain has lifted to the north, at least for the time being. Temperatures as you wake up this morning, many kids up earlier today than the last couple of weeks. It's still in the 70s, right on cue. The heat and humidity are in place for the first day of school. We're looking at temperatures climbing into the 80s today. It's going to be very muggy as well. We do have the potential for a few showers and thunderstorms to pop up this afternoon. Better chances, though, for more widespread rain across the entire area come tonight into Wednesday. Now let's get a look at your first alert traffic conditions. I would expect volume to increase over the next hour across the area, but right now things are pretty quiet. No major delays on the Beltline. We do have some slowdowns on Park Street and then also those road closures on the Isthmus due to ongoing flooding concerns. Your first alert traffic travel times and speeds. You're adding just a couple of minutes right now northbound on Verona Road as you approach the Beltline. And that's your first alert traffic.
All right, Hattie, thank you so much. We start this half hour with the school closures we sort of alluded to there. Now, Montello students are among those heading back to school tomorrow, not today, thanks to the flooding.
The district posted the alert on its website yesterday. The police department says it's related to the closure of Highway 22 there. Now, Reedsburg schools will also stay closed today because of flooding problems for families there. The district is asking that freshmen still report to the high school, though, and it says its bus drivers will do their best to pick up any freshmen on their bus lines. There are a number of other closures and delays this morning, as we've mentioned. They're scrolling right there at the bottom of your screen.
Sauk County is preparing for another round of rain just as the Baraboo River is going back down. That river crested over the holiday weekend. There are still concerns, though, for flooding this week in communities like Rock Springs, Reedsburg, and Laval.
Home damage estimates are scheduled to start this week for those towns. Laval and Reedsburg are first up. That starts later today. Rock Springs and North Freedom will be assessed on Wednesday, and then Baraboo on Thursday. If you need to report damage, you can call 608-355-3200. 6:32 your time now. Madison Mayor Paul Soglin says he does not expect flooding to be an issue for the bus drivers and the teachers trying to start the school year safely.
Now, that's despite Lake Monona reaching record levels over the weekend. As of last night, the lake was 7.5 inches over the 100-year flood level. Monona, Mendota, Waubesa, and Kegonsa are all still under slow no wake orders this morning. All of the public beaches in Dane County are closed. Mayor Soglin does expect some ongoing flooding and road closures on the Isthmus, particularly just east of the Capitol.
Sandbagging efforts continue along Lake Monona. There are still bags available at Oneida Park if you need them, and the city could be looking for more volunteers to fill those bags this week. All three of the cities of Monona's boat launches are closed until further notice.
Through this week, City of Madison residents will not have to pay to recycle items that were damaged in flooding. The city typically requires a sticker that costs $10 to $35 for appliances or electronics, depending on what someone wants to recycle. The Streets Division is waiving that fee, though, through Friday. TVs, computers, and other electronics should be taken to drop-off sites, not put out on the curb. Those drop-off sites are at West Badger Road and Sycamore Avenue. Otherwise, there's a risk of those devices breaking and spilling dangerous chemicals onto the ground.
With so much of southern Wisconsin being affected by heavy rains, it's a good time to mention that September is National Preparedness Month. It can be hard to know when a potential natural disaster is on its way, especially when it comes to the flash flooding we've seen over the past couple of weeks. That's why officials suggest you make an emergency plan and practice it with your family. Even just talking about what you would do in those situations during dinner can help. You can find tips on building your own family plan over at ready.gov. Now, as lots of families get ready to head back to school and get ready for that, a local organization is working to make sure they don't go hungry during the school year.
This is so important. The Cap Times says the group Selfless Ambition is working with Second Harvest and the Madison School District to open a food pantry at Glendale Elementary. It will be open every Tuesday and Thursday from 2 until 3:15 in the afternoon to make sure families who can't actually get to a food pantry, maybe don't have transportation, have access to one. The goal is eventually to have a pantry in 25 schools across the city where poverty rates are 50% and higher. It's also the first day of school up in Baraboo, where not dealing with too much flooding, thank goodness. They are opening, though, a brand new addition to their high school. It was part of the $22 million referendum voters in Baraboo approved in the November 2016 election for improvements, renovations, and repairs. Now it includes new fitness classrooms with a weight room there and cafeteria and common areas as well. The district's launching a new fire academy, too, at the high school this year, teaming up with the Baraboo Fire Department and Madison College to create a firefighter certification program. 6:35 right now. Flooding continues to be an issue on a number of highways around southern Wisconsin and roads on the Isthmus as kids head back to school. We're going to hear from Superintendent Jen Cheatham up next.
And plans for a massive redevelopment near the Hilldale Mall are moving forward today. We'll tell you more about the shops, apartments, and hotel rooms that are going up there when News 3 This Morning continues.
Welcome.
Welcome back. 6:39 right now. We always ask you to share your morning with us, and with things being so rainy and gloomy for most of the weekend and throughout the week, Christine shared this on Facebook. Beautiful shot from Janesville. Thank you so much, Christine. What does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it over on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We share our favorites every morning here on the program. I'm sure a lot of News 3 morning pictures happening today because it is back to school for a lot of kids in the area. And with buildings like East High and O'Keefe Middle School right near the Yahara River, building services staff at Madison schools have been working around the clock to make sure things stay dry.
Now, we don't expect that to delay the start of the school year for students here, but it's something Josh Spreiter is asking the superintendent about this morning. He joins us live from Leopold Elementary. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, ladies, and it is a beautiful start on this back to school day. We've got Dr. Jennifer Cheatham with us this morning, and the sun is rising. I know we've been dealing with a lot of rain lately, but all the schools are ready to go.
Yeah, we're ready to go. We put a lot of work into preparing, and it's going to be a great first day of school.
So obviously one of the things you guys have been working on over the summer months is kind of looking at your strategic framework. And one of those things is closing the achievement gap here in Dane County. What are those things that you guys are looking at here as the district?
Well, we set a new set of ambitious goals around academic performance, of course, climate and culture, which is critically important, and a new goal around ensuring that African American youth excel in school. The new strategic framework has also laid out a strategy around empowering schools, investing in the people who teach the children, streamlining our priorities to focus on the things that are most high impact, better planning for the future, and working on being more innovative as a school district, which I'm personally really excited about.
And obviously that excitement is with you guys as faculty, it's as students. What kind of message do you have for those at home, you know, maybe sending their first one off to school today?
Oh, you know, I'm a parent too. I have a first grader who's heading back to school this morning. I say keep it positive. Your attitude matters a lot as a parent. Your child picks up on that. Build a strong relationship with your teacher from the get-go. Partnership is critical, and that is an important ingredient to your child's success.
So obviously a big day as a superintendent, but it's also a big day as a mom, right?
It sure is. Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Well, thank you so much for waking up early with us. We know there's a lot of excitement. Ladies, back to school day. The sun is rising. It's been nice after all of this rain, right? So it gives us a little bit more positivity heading into the school year.
Yeah, we're hoping that it stays dry until tonight so those kiddos can maybe have a dry walk or bus stop home as well. So, all right, Josh Spreiter reporting live from Leopold. Thank you, Josh.
6:41 your time now. The interstate up near Portage is down to one lane again this morning heading north. State highways in Sauk and Marquette counties are closed. And US 14 between Black Earth and Cross Plains also shut down again.
Yeah, we have more rain over the next couple of days. Hattie has an alert day to talk about today and tomorrow as a result. Her first alert forecast is up next.
But first, it's September 4th. We have a whole list of birthdays from over the long weekend. We want to say happy birthday to Eli, Ben, Lucas, Oli, and all the other kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for letting us help celebrate. And thanks for watching News 3 This Morning.
And good morning. Today is an alert day for southern Wisconsin. In fact, today and tomorrow due to the potential for some heavy rain. Here's what we're looking at. Potential precipitation over the next 48 hours, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches across parts of southern Wisconsin. Now, not everyone is going to see that extremely heavy rain, but it is possible. So that is the reason that we have 2 alert days in the forecast. Flooding concerns are expected to continue. Now, the flash flood warnings have expired, but we have aerial flood warnings for parts of west central Wisconsin until noon today. Flash flood warnings then start again later tonight through Wednesday afternoon for the southwestern corner of the state, with the addition of more rain later today. Now this morning, though, things are looking pretty good. Actually dry across southern Wisconsin. All the rain has lifted into the central part of the state at this hour, and we are expected to remain dry for at least several hours. But you can see the steady stream of moisture from the south, straight from the Gulf all the way up into the midsection of the country. That is expected to continue for the next couple of days. Severe weather outlook today does indicate west central Wisconsin into parts of Minnesota and Iowa with that slight risk for severe weather. Marginal risk making it into about the Madison area. Speaking of tropical moisture, let's head down to the tropics. The Gulf of Mexico, where we have Tropical Storm Gordon right now churning in the Gulf. Its movement is northwesterly at about 17 miles an hour. So on that track, it is expected to make landfall later tonight, possibly increasing to a Category 1 hurricane. Storm surge as well as heavy rain and wind would be the main threats from this storm. As it weakens, it will weaken rather quickly as it moves offshore, but the remnants of that hurricane may hold together long enough, and we may see some of that tropical moisture later on in the weekend here in southern Wisconsin, even as we head into the first part of next week. So we'll have to watch that storm rather closely over the next week. A nice sunrise, though, taking place here across southern Wisconsin. Sun is up. We have partly sunny skies right now. 71 degrees is our temperature here in Madison, 71 in the Dells, 72 in Mineral Point. Prairie du Chien starts at 70 degrees. We had some very heavy rain north and west of Madison overnight. Dew points are high in the entire area. We're looking at high temperatures climbing into the 80s today. Heat index values, though, may be closer to 90 degrees. 85 in New Glarus, 85 in Evansville, with a chance for a shower or thunderstorm this afternoon. A chance to the west as well, 82 in Fenimore. Muscadet, you'll top at 84 degrees. And to the north, Montello 82, Mauston 81 degrees. Again, that chance for rain today. Better chances, though, overnight tonight as we head into Wednesday. Steady rain expected then. We have temperatures topping in the 80s today, 70s tomorrow. We finally cool down a little bit. We'll lose the humidity, though, more importantly. Thursday and Friday should feel pretty darn comfortable with highs in the lower 70s. Here's a look at our pet walk forecast.
Nice.
Zoe. Can't even see the eyes there. Very cute, though. Looks very fluffy.
Oh, buddy, don't ruin your lovely fur in the rain today.
Yeah, no, probably an inside day today.
Oh, poor guy. Thanks, Addie.
You're welcome.
We'll have updates on school closures and flooding. It's all coming up next in the Morning Sprint. 6:52 time now for the morning sprint. Hattie has alert days in effect today and tomorrow for chances for more storms on what's supposed to be the first day of school for a lot of kids in our area.
Some of the districts are delayed or even closed for the day due to flooding, but not in Madison. Kids will be getting off at Leopold Elementary over the next hour. That's where Josh Spreiter is this morning, talking about how the district is going to address the achievement gap this school year. But we start in Sauk County. That's where people are preparing for the next round of rain. Officials there tell us yesterday's rain wasn't too bad, allowing the Baraboo River to go down a bit. But there are concerns for the next couple of days now. Towns that should be on the lookout in particular in that county are Rock Springs, Reedsburg, and Laval.
If you have electronics that were damaged or destroyed by flooding, the city of Madison is waiving the fee to recycle those items through Friday. The city typically requires a sticker that costs anywhere from $10 to $35 for appliances or electronics, depending on what someone wants to recycle. TVs, computers, and other electronics should be taken to drop-off sites on West Badger Road or Sycamore Avenue.
A number of students in the viewing area won't be headed back to school today because of flooding concerns. That includes Reedsburg, Prairie du Chien, Mauston, and Montello, where police are blaming the closure of Highway 22 on that decision. Those schools plan to start their school year tomorrow instead. You can find a full list of closures and delays scrolling right there on the bottom of your screen.
Madison Mayor Paul Soglin does not expect flooding to be an issue for bus drivers and teachers in the city today, despite Lake Monona reaching record levels over the weekend. As of last night, the lake was 7.5 inches over its 100-year flood level. With the rain forecasted throughout this week, flooding and road closures are expected on the isthmus, particularly that area just east of the capital.
While flooding has delayed the start for some schools in the Madison area, that's not the case for here at Leopold Elementary. I'm Josh Spreiter live this morning where kids head back to school today. Superintendent Dr. Jennifer Cheatham says teachers and staff have been working hard over the summer months preparing for the new school year. The district updated its strategic framework. This year, the faculty is focused on core values. That includes excellence, but also they're focusing on closing the achievement gap here in Dane County, looking at racial inequality and social justice. The superintendent says this school year will also be focused on voice and creativity.
And it's going to be quite warm and sticky for this first day of school here across southern Wisconsin. Temperatures starting in the 70s, climbing to highs in the 80s. There is a chance for a shower or thunderstorm this afternoon. Better chances, though, for rain tonight into tomorrow. Today and tomorrow are alert days for southern Wisconsin. There is heavy rain possible, which will continue those flooding concerns. Here's a look at precipitation over the next 48 hours. 1 to 3 inches will be possible across southern Wisconsin.
All right, thanks, Hattie. In business news this morning, Nike is releasing a new ad that has lots of people talking. Colin Kaepernick is one of the faces of Nike's upcoming Just Do It campaign. While he was with the San Francisco 49ers, Kaepernick sparked the debate over kneeling during the national anthem. The quarterback is now accusing the NFL of colluding to keep him off of a team. Yesterday, he tweeted an image from the new campaign saying, quote, "Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything."
Confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh start today. Last night, senators received an additional 42,000 pages on the president's choice for the nation's high court and his past work for the government. Democrats argued there wasn't enough time to read those documents in time for today's hearing. Judge Kavanaugh is expected to face questions on abortion, gun rights, health care, and President Trump.
A Sauk County couple is in jail this morning as police investigate the death of their teenage son. 49-year-old Kahinde Amosbai was the one to report his son had died Friday. The man said he's a religious minister and his family has been fasting since the middle of July. Police found a 15-year-old boy dead and an 11-year-old boy who was extremely thin and weak still alive. Both parents are in custody this morning on tentative charges of child neglect.
The parents of a missing Madison man are trying to access their son's social media accounts, hoping posts could help them find him. 25-year-old Jonathan Luskin was on vacation in Slovenia when they lost communication with him back in June. His dad is looking into whether he downloaded any maps as well ahead of his disappearance. Police in Slovenia are still actively investigating.
Less than a week after the public had the chance to comment on a water rate increase here in Madison, Common Council could approve a new contract for the utilities general manager. Tom Heikkinen would make more than $150,000 a year under the 5-year extension as the utility faces a $6 million deficit. Mayor Soglin sent a memo to Heikkinen earlier this year laying out deadlines and expectations for him if he continued to lead the water utility.
6:56 right now. A lot of county roads and state highways still closed this morning. Let's turn it over to Josh Tim with a look at traffic.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Delays popping up on the westbound side of the Beltline already between Stoughton Road and West Broadway. That's going to add 5 minutes to your drive time. Inbound John Nolan, you're tapping the brakes near the Olin Avenue and North Shore Drive intersections. That's going to add a few minutes into the downtown area. But other main routes heading into Madison are moving along right now with the usual speeds with no crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you, Josh.
And we have some sunshine early this morning across southern Wisconsin. The rain has come to an end, at least for the time being. A little bit of a chance to dry out today. It is going to be very warm and muggy, though, with temperatures climbing to highs in the low to mid 80s this afternoon. Very humid conditions are expected. There will be a chance for a few scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Better chances for more widespread rain, and it could be heavy tonight into Wednesday. We finally get a chance to dry out for a couple of days starting on Thursday.
Looking forward to that break on Thursday. Thanks,
Yes.
Hattie.
You're welcome.
As always, you can download the First Alert Weather and Traffic app on your cell phone or tablet to keep track of all these storms. You can also get an updated list of school closures on channel3000.com.